income doesn't matter. Your age doesn't matter. Your race doesn't matter. Your geographical location doesn't matter. There's a thing that you and I are dealing with in your money, and it's called math. And none of those things I just mentioned give you a pass on math. And where people get themselves in trouble, including when I went broke many years ago because I was stupid, we get ourselves in trouble when we don't bother and do the math before we do the transaction. We're the stupid woman from San Diego who leased her dog for $5,400. We make $90,000 a year, and somehow in our brains figure out that our children deserve a $50,000 Honda SUV. And now we have to take the kids out of private school because we can't pay the payments on the SUV and the private school because we didn't do math. We're 21 years old. We buy a $10,000 car, run up $10,000 in credit card debt, and have $10,000 in medical bills and make $30,000 a year. When you make $30,000 a year, there's nowhere in that plan that the $10,000 car makes sense. There's nowhere in that plan that running up a bunch of credit card debt gives you any room to breathe. You already can't breathe. We have 3 kids. We make $28,000 a year. Should I go back to work, the woman asks. $28,000 income with 3 kids. Our health care is provided by Medicaid, which is welfare, because we qualify. If I go back to work, we won't qualify for that. And if I go back to work, I'll have to pay for daycare. When you make $30,000 a year, there's nowhere in that plan that the $10,000 car makes sense. There's nowhere in that plan that running up a bunch of credit card debt gives you any room to breathe. You already can't breathe. We have 3 kids. We make $28,000 a year. Should I go back to work, the woman asks. $28,000 income with 3 kids. We have 3 kids. We make $28,000 a year. Should I go back to work, the woman asks. $28,000 income with 3 kids. We have 3 kids. We make $28,000 a year. Should I go back to work, the woman asks. $28,000 income with 3 kids. We have 3 kids. We make $28,000 a year. Should I go back to work, the woman asks. $28,000 income with 3 kids. We have 3 kids. We make $28,000 a year. Should I go back to work, the woman asks. $28,000 income with 3 kids. We have 3 kids. We make $28,000 a year. Should I go back to work, the woman asks. $28,000 income with 3 kids. We have 3 kids. We make $28,000 a year. Should I go back to work, the woman asks. $28,000 income with 3 kids. Grand morning, individuals. Hello. Trying to get this thing right here. Well, we'll just leave it at that. All right, good morning. Got some stuff I want to talk to you guys about. Appreciate you guys for being here, man. You could have been anywhere else in the world. I came up with a new system as to how my individuals, my premium cats that pay me every month on my Connect Pal, I came up with a new idea as to bringing everything to one platform and better control how individuals get access to my premium channels. So what I'm going to do is, because I'm always thinking, and I want to do things different for 2021, I really want to make YouTube my primary base where I can sell my content, because when I have nothing to do, I drive for Lyft and everything. I really don't want to do that no more. I really think that the time that I put with that is taken away from my creativity with things that I'm doing here. I want to
do things different over at the studio, move the bikes out of the way. Not that they're in the way, but move the bikes and do like a daddy sit down thing. And when I do my one-on-ones is where I get my ideas from. So individuals that make a $25 contribution to my Cash App will now have access to my Connect Pal content. My man Deshaun, when I did the various one-on-ones that I did Monday and the one-on-one that I did yesterday, I actually loaded that up on this YouTube channel and send those out to individuals that I got their number and I can text them the private link. No one else can have access to it but those individuals. So Deshaun is the first recipient. I got other individuals. I just don't have them in the phone. Individuals that gave contributions, and but Deshaun is the cat that was first on the list. Jacob Blake. Jacob Blake and others. People, my lady said to me, you need to get up off your people, leave your people alone. What was that you said? What was that? Oh, she can't remember. Stop fucking with your people. Let's just say she said that. You go. Why are you so harsh on your people? Why are you fucking your people? Why are you anal cavity in your people? She can't remember. So I'm gonna help you guys understand because I said the other day, and I heard what I said because I was sitting here when I said it. I said sometimes I wish I wasn't as smart as I am. So I'm going to start this thing off like this. Appreciate you. If you're new to the channel, by all means, hit that subscribe button. People, if you never had a run-in with the law, you won't know anything about the law like someone that has. You can go teach yourself and think you know, but you will never know the inner gears, the inner workings of the law until you had a run-in with the law. What is it? What I'm going to define a run-in with the law is when you had someone in your family killed by a cop. I did. My brother was killed by a cop. And it is not until you understand a person being killed by a cop and then your family getting introduced to all the intricate workings of police and how they roll, you don't know anything. So right now, if you had not had someone in your family killed by a cop, shut the fuck up and listen. Keep all your dumb comments to yourself. Just listen. That was kind of harsh. That was kind of harsh. I can't believe I said that. How dare, I can't believe you said that. Yeah, I gotta forgive me. I got a spectator in the damn house with me this morning, heckling me. People, I'm gonna introduce you to some stats in the ghetto, the community you call black. I'm about to drop some stuff on you, and ironically, I'll probably never mention Jacob Blake again. I just want to help you understand how it works and how we make a mockery. After all, I did say Jacob, I titled this Jacob Blake Cop Cleared. LOL, I laughed. Blacks will always finance our demise. And then I put restraining order. Okay. So let me help you understand where my mind is and helping you guys understand just how cops will always walk. All right. So in the black community, we make a mockery of the neighborhood watch. Because we make a mockery of the neighborhood watch, we have no crime deterrence. I think you will all agree with this. I have been in plenty of neighborhoods where I was driving and seeing the eye. This neighborhood is protected via a neighborhood watch. You have heard stories about in the years when Obama was in office about how when President Obama extended the Section 8 voucher to white neighborhoods. The problems that, the white guy be out there cutting his grass, and then I'm going to say chiquita drives by with a music thumping, and chiquita is not saying it's not where you from, it's where you at. It's, no, I'm from the hood, I'm bringing this nigga get up stuff. And so the guy be cutting his lawn and he's looking like, what the hell? And then he jumps in his car and he follows chiquita, and then he follows chiquita to this one house, and then he makes a mental note of it. Then he tells the person across the street, hey, watch that girl over there, I seen a girl. And then here comes a nigga with his music blasting, because we all, I don't know if you know, but wherever Section 8 individuals, women are, the niggas will follow. Miss Ali said this, so don't get mad at me. So they have a neighborhood watch, and this is how it won't be soon thereafter where that house that Shaquita pulled up in, she won't be pulling up in that house too long. You know why? Because there's a neighborhood watch, and those white folks said, we ain't allowing niggas to come in our neighborhood and bring our neighborhood down via Section 8. Now I need y'all to follow me. That's their neighborhood watch. In the black community, there's this thing called snitches get stitches, and we're not allowed to say that Miss Johnson next door got bashed over the head with a can of dog food. Her dog is missing, and somebody broke in the house, took her TV and $3. We can't say anything. So let me help you Negroes understand what it is exactly you're doing, bringing yourself to the demise. People, you do know that there are crime stats. There are crime stats. And because there are crime stats, when one of my clients up in Cleveland had his children for the weekend, brought his 2 boys water guns, and was playing water guns with his kids, dropped his kids off, and then went back home, and him and his girlfriend was playing with the water guns. He got the best of her, and she picks up the phone and kindly calls the police officers and say, my boyfriend is over here playing with a gun, but leave out the water part. His door come flying off the hinges, and then it's, oh, nothing happens to her. She gets off because the white establishment need our women to keep being infiltrators, because that's their way in through our women. And then guess what's going to happen to that dude? They're going to let him go. They're going to say, I'm sorry. They're not going to pay for his door. They're going to let him go. But guess what just happened? That call that was false will not be pulled out of it was a prank call stat. That call will go into, we had X amount of calls last month under a nigga had a gun. They will not update it. It will go under the stats of a nigga had a gun. Hold on a second. I see a Negro right in front of my house. You gotta forgive me. Whenever I'm looking and I see somebody looking in my driveway, I gotta go let them know. You come back if you want to. It won't work out for you. Nonetheless, where was I? Oh yeah, crime stats. So what happened is that call that was made to the cops, though it was frivolous, and probably they get about 500 calls like that a month, where I want to get back at a nigga, and they call the cops, and those calls are false. But what they're not going to do is update those calls out of their fake crime stats registry. It's going to go that this section of Cleveland, Ohio had 500 calls, right? Let me continue. Now, I did mention restraining order when I was talking about this, right? Okay. Do you know that I've watched from 1999 to current, I watched the restraining order evolve. And I know, and I've helped probably about 15,000 men that was exiled out of their children's life via the restraining order. And let me tell you how it went. He leaves home in the morning, kisses his woman. Hey, I love you, baby. I'll see you later. Come back home. There's a cop waiting in front of his house. Are you Chris Smith? Yeah. Okay. I'm officer such and such. What's going on? Sir, I'm going to have to ask you. I'm going to give you 5 minutes to go in your house and grab your things. What's going on? Your girl went down to blah, blah, blah. And now there's a restraining order. You can't go back to the house. But he kissed her in the morning and now got a restraining order. Do you know what happens with that restraining order? It now goes to part of a crime stat. See, we make mockery of things, and then we turn around and get surprised when a white man shoot us in the fucking head. And then, this is why I say the community y'all call black. You make a mockery of all this shit. Females have other female friends. Well, girl, you got to get a nigga any way you can. You know you got to get a nigga any way you can. And then what happens is all this fluffery, all this fluff creates a negative and feeds a crime stat that's non-existent. But on the other end, it's verifiable because it happened. And nobody goes and audit the police precinct and say, you had 500 calls last month of domestic abuse. Out of those 500 calls, how many of them was true or not? They're not going to do that. They're going to allow our women to feed these crime stats and fluff it up. And then when we do have crimes, you niggas run around here. You niggas run around here and say, well, you can't say anything. And then what happens is when a cop shoots a black guy, shoots a black girl, listen to all that, you know what's going to happen when they go to court? They're going to say, well, that's crime area number 7. Crime area number 7 had 500 domestic disputes. So when we roll into that area, it's called the high alert area. They reclassify it and they do all these things on the back end. So when they do a crime, it's justified. But you make a mockery of it because you don't know these things. It's all a fucking game. It's all a game. It's all this. And then when a white cop does something, you guys navigate yourself through life under this context of, yep, these white people are getting off again. I was listening to Shannon Sharp this morning, and Lord have mercy, this man said something. He said, we're going to get Democrats in office and we're going to invoke change. Please let me go left for a second. I love Shannon Sharp. But I just said you blacks keep financing your demise. So explain to me how the Democrats are going to help you when they want to get illegals in here. So let me say this again, because I don't think you guys heard me. Like I said, I just wish I wasn't this smart. So check this out. Black people are called black people. We are the minorities. Okay. We are minorities. So what happened? Black people, we are the minorities, right? That's what we are. We are the minorities. Let me help you guys understand something. Then I'm gonna get back on track. So the Democrats want to do everything for illegals. So so I just want to be clear. You want to get a Democrat in office that's going to bring in illegals. And then once the illegals come in here, who do you think is going to be the new minority? You know why white people don't qualify for stuff? They don't qualify for stuff like we do because we are the minorities. Well, guess what's happened? Guess what's going to happen? When all the illegals come, the illegals are now going to qualify for all the stuff we qualify for. And we're going to be, what's that called? Oh, it's called out of luck. But you keep voting for Democrats, and Democrats keep having to weigh in. I'll do a video about that later on. Back to what I was talking about. So you guys, LeBron James tweets out, Jacob Blake, the cop that killed, I don't want to mention his name, the cop that, Jacob Blake, blah, blah, he gets off. And everybody's in an uproar. And the WNBA, the women, they want to sit down and hold all these vigils and haul all these stuff. But yet when 500 chiquitas a month call the police on their men, make a mockery and pad the stats to verify and justify what the cops do, nothing is said about that. It's amazing how black people are so intellectual when we talk about change, but we don't want to change the one thing we got on our face. That's what we see. Let me tell you something. Do you know I'm drinking this right here. I'm drinking this thing right here. I'm gonna show y'all. I'm drinking this thing right here. You see the word on there? It's called organic. Do you know what that means? That means the content is cold pressed. I got kale, I got cucumber, I got apple, spinach, mint, celery, lime, and parsley. And the thing that makes this organic is the ingredients inside. And what's not in here is all those pesticides, et cetera, et cetera. So the ingredients. So you can have this. You can have a drink that consists of kale, cucumber, apple, spinach, mint, celery, lime, and basil, and parsley. Excuse me. But if it has all the pesticide stuff in here, it won't be organic. So it'll be the same thing, but the ingredients will be different. I need y'all to follow me for a second, but I'm gonna take a hit on this. Hold on a second. I'm gonna take a hit. Take a hit on this because it's good. Hold on a second. I say hold on. I mean, damn. All right, that's my hit. So let us now talk about the ingredients. People, a restraining order can be obtained now by simply saying, I'm in fear of my life. I must have met in my life about 15 women, spoken to about 15 women that said, I had to do what I had to do. I had to get this out of my house. So yeah, I lied. I went down there and I said I was in fear of my life and got a restraining order. I've met about 15 women in my life. My former co-host Dre Green said she knew about 30 women that did it. Do you know that women can simply, if a woman wants to be on Section 8, all she got to do is say her man beat on her. She goes to a battered shelter. This is how they do it in Pennsylvania and in New Jersey. A woman could say her husband beat on her, go to a shelter, spend one night in the shelter. And because she spent one night in the shelter, she gets put on top of the Section 8 list. So all the honest women that have children that don't want to say a man beat on me, but here's what I'm getting at in case you don't see what I'm saying. They keep using our women to simply pad negative stats. In fact, those negative stats, what they do is they get you on the back end. So when they shoot a man in the head, you know what they're gonna say? Well, that's zone 6-7. Any zone over 5 is high risk. We need to call the National Guard to patrol that area. People, I'm from Newark, New Jersey. You will listen to individuals when they giving their stories on why cops get off, but the regular cops is patrolling the area. I'm from Newark, New Jersey. Do you know that the crime in Irvington, New Jersey was so bad, it was taken over by the state police? Anything outside of that, I don't want to hear it. Crime was so bad. I mean, justifiable crime was so bad, the state police took over the police department. That's how bad it was. So what I'm saying is, in case you don't get what I'm saying is their crime, the police department was doing something about it in advance, not shooting people in the head saying, well, the crime here is bad. So now you want to justify how bad the crime is after you shoot somebody in the head, shoot somebody in the head, but you've done nothing about it. We are financing our demise. We are. Now let's talk about them booty out niggas and their crimes. Let's talk about them. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. What are you talking about? I'm talking about women. I'm talking about the guys. That ain't fair. Let's talk about you booty out niggas. I got to be honest. No homo. I think about booty out niggas all the time. Right after I take a shit. I just had to say that. It was funny. I just had to say that. I swear to God, I want to be clear about something about booty out niggas. There's a lot of individuals out there that are booty out niggas. There's women out there that listen to me that have babies with booty out niggas. And it's like, so what? He's this, he's that. He's a man. He's a man. No, he got a dick. That's about it. Ain't no man in that. You're going to stop putting up the man of brand saying that trash is a man. Every time I see one, I clutch my gun. I'll be hoping and praying that they flare up on someone I'm badder than life and everything. I'll be flaring. I do. I'll be like, man, I'd love to park a bullet in one of their heads. Now, people, I want to be clear about something. Let me go left for a second. People, when I was up in New Jersey, lived up in New Jersey, I had a 9B pest control applicator's license. And that meant that I was in the pest control business. Do you know that I went to a lady's house one time and she had roaches so bad? Uh, I said, I said, let me ask you a question. I said, did you ever see a spider in your house? She said, yeah. I said, don't kill them. She was like, oh no, they're worse than roaches. I said, no, they're not. Spiders kills roaches. You know, spiders are on top of the food chain. They're probably next to frogs. They're on the top of the food chain when it comes to killing other insects and bugs. So you want spiders. I went to one house to look like that movie Arachnia with all those spiders. I went to one house that had spiders bad, not one roach. So what am I saying? What I'm saying is, for everything that exists, there is a nemesis for it. For everything that exists, there's a nemesis. You can't navigate yourself through society and think you're going to be whatever you want to be and not understand who's the nemesis to what you are. So, example, I don't like booty out niggas. I don't like booty out niggas. I don't like because they fucking up the brand of man. All right. I think lowly of women that deal with them. I think lowly of them. I do. You know, coming with all these excuses as to why you have one. Ain't no this, ain't no that. Stop it. You just like a booty out nigga. You like it's the thrill. That's what it is in the community you call black. We got all these reasons, all these justifications for wrong. So stop. You want another example? It's cloudy today. Clouds are a nemesis to sunshine. Okay. Sunshine is a nemesis for dry heat and water. When a drought, yeah. Sunshine is a nemesis to drought. You don't want to have a drought in sunshine. You don't want that. Good when you want to have a picnic, sunshine. Good for when you want to have a picnic. Good for when you want to go to the beach. Good if you got a convertible, you want to let the top down. Good if you got a car with a sunroof, you want to open up the sun rooftop. Good for all those things. Good for a cold day. We add a little sunshine, heat it up a little bit. Okay. Sunshine though, bad when there's a drought. Okay. Just bad for a drought. That's the only example I can come up with. Can't come up with nothing else because we need sunshine. It's a part of life, vitamin D, et cetera, et cetera. All right. Clouds. Clouds. You know what clouds are? You know what clouds is? Cloud is a gathering of mystery, aka fog. Fog, clouds. Kobe Bryant died in a helicopter accident. You know why? Fog. Mess around. People don't know. When you get into aviation, you know this stuff. Went to school, got my pilot license. I know this stuff. I got my pilot gear on the top of my refrigerator. All right. Funny thing is, when I got my license, I didn't want to do it no more. I did not like finding out that, hey, a little Cessna, if I'm at the time, if I was dating a girl that was 200 pounds, we couldn't fly in a plane together. I'm like, so these little things are that damn fragile. So I know aviation. All right. Nice sunny day, 80-degree day up here. You look up, you see one cloud. Do you not know that it's 80 degrees down here, but up in that cloud, it's ice? All right. Let alone it be a cool day and you going through fog, aka ice, etc., etc. Kobe Bryant helicopter flies through all the fog. There's ice and all that stuff in it. Gets inside aviation. What happens is ice and fog suffocates an engine. There can't be no air and all that. What needs to come through that engine is air. But when you allow water and all that and fog, it suffocates the engine. You get no lift, you lose lift, you going down. You and the ground is about to be friends. That's what happened. When the crash happened, all y'all said, oh God, what happened? All the people that knew aviation knew, wait a minute, fog to up, pilot error. Pilot error is probably 92% of all the reason why all planes crash. I'm getting off topic. Nemesis. When you understand the nemesis, if you stop walking through life and looking at everything like a jolly peach, oh, it's good that I do this. Well, and you make excuses for dumb. A lot of you guys make excuses for dumb. Yes, you do. Shut up. Yeah, you do. Boy, I'll backslap you. Yeah, you do. You make excuses for dumb. When you make excuses for dumb, you're doing something you shouldn't be doing. And when you're doing something you should be doing, something else that should be prospering within you is taking a back seat. Because at that time, you appreciate where you're at. You're like, oh, I'm doing this. It's great that I'm doing this. Blah, 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 blah. I know it's wrong, blah, 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 blah. People, let me tell you something like I told you guys all the time. At 52 years old, 98% of the women that I've met at my age, they're burnt out. They're all the ones that said there's nothing wrong with that. And oh, this is a classic. Thug niggas give good dick. I've never heard a white woman or a Puerto Rican say something like that. But this is what I get. Thug niggas got good dick. Wow. Okay. Okay. So all burnt out, all these excuses, you got to understand, you got to give a nigga a break, et cetera, all these things. And then when they get up to 50 years old and realize that all their master plans had not worked out, want to be a chemist, think they could change the chemistry and makeup of things, they get to 50 years old and they're burnt out. But what happened? People always tell people this. I want all you young people to come close. That's what I'm about to say. Come close. People, if you never had one of your kids listen to one of my videos, isolate this part right here. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to isolate this part. I'm going to make a little isolated incident video piece. I'm going to make an isolated incident video clip. So check this out. I'm going to put this right here. Probably can't see it. I'm going to make an isolated incident video piece. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make an isolated incident video piece. That's what I'm going to call it. I'm going to call it an isolated incident video piece. That's what I'm going to call it. Why are you laughing? Why are you fucking laughing at somebody? Check this out. So you got your kids listening? People, don't let the person you're going to be tomorrow be mad at the person you are today. A lot of you guys, the unfortunate thing that you do is you do a lot of things for social media when you should be doing things for yourself. All right. So if you want to be friends, if your thing is, if you're an extrovert and you just got 50 million friends, how about being friends? How about setting yourself up to be friends with the person you're going to be tomorrow? How about that? Because here's what I see. I met a lot of women in their 50s, a lot of women at 50 years old, and they absolutely wants nothing to do with the younger part of them. All these narratives about, well, when I was young, and I boy, and they just got all these narratives. Now, they're not going to say, I'm mad at the person I was. They're not going to say that. But that's in hindsight, that's what they're saying. I met a lot of guys. I know a lot of guys. I haven't met them. I know guys because I'm not into the new friend thing. I think I have a 35-year-old friendship cutoff. After 35, all the friends you met in your life, that's it. You make friends after that, whatever. But I know a lot of, boy, I tell you, this one here. I know a lot of guys when I was a child. These guys thought, what was the thing that was at the time? Oh, smoking weed. Yeah, these individuals put smoking weed as the priority. Their whole perspective was, we chilling, we about that life. That wasn't out back then, so I can't front and say they were. I can't do that. Wait a minute. You're 52, and you say that wasn't out then. Yeah, it wasn't out then. But being a B-boy and being all these things, and then what happens is, life comes knocking at the door and they're not ready for it. So now they're 50 years old and they come back and they're saying the one thing that I don't say. I don't say, I wish I would have. At 52 years old, I'm that dude that's saying, damn, I'm glad I did. There's a lot of individuals out there that are doing things in life that ain't going to add up to nothing good. You cannot meet a woman and think that she got 5 kids by 5 different dudes and think that you met her and you're going to straighten her thirst for dick. You cannot do that. Women, you cannot meet a guy that's 30 years old, did nothing well in life, got all these excuses as to why the energy that they did produced all the wrong moves, and you're going to change them. People, an hour is 60 minutes for all of us. Everybody want to run around here and say white people this, white people that. People, we all live on the same time clock. What you do with your time, you should not get mad at somebody else for the 60 minutes that they spent setting themselves up for the next 60 minutes, and they constantly rolling over those 60 minutes to always put themselves in the best position. What black people, what we do in our community a lot is we like to do all the wrong things, claiming that I'm from the hood, I'm representing, I'm doing all these things. and then realize that as life go on, that hood concept and that hood mentality has no benefits, no payoffs. You can't retire with that perspective. And you're barking that I'm from the hood. And you can't go nowhere and get the hood retirement. You can't go nowhere and get the hood health insurance. You can't go nowhere and get there's no place called hood investments. There is nothing. I remember my cousin said to me, I told him I was going in the military. When I told him I was going in the military back in '88, my cousin said to me, "Don't go in that white man's army." I said, "Well, where's the black man's army at? Because I'm going in the army. Where's the black man's army?" Got all the answers. All the answers. An hour, 60 minutes for white people, like it is for black people. A week is 7 days. A month is 30, sometimes 31. And 1 month out of a year is 28, and except on a leap year. A year is 365 days, except on a leap year is 366. A decade is 10 years. A millennium is 100. Golden year, centennial, or whatever is 50. People, we all live on the same time scale. And it's not until you go further on in life, you will see just what people invested in. And what kills me is that both men and women in the community you call black, I'm sorry, I'm getting off topic. You invest in so much bull crap. You invest in so much dirt, garbage, foolishness, cooning, pafoolery. You invest in all these things, and you come up with this. It's a bunch of smart dummies. I'm serious. I've never seen smarter dummies and all converge in one location that I see in the community. You guys call black, and then you come up with all these excuses. You make a mockery. You get mad at. You think she. You think he. All these things. People, I'm telling you. We all go to school to have a better life. Nobody goes to school to be able to adapt better. Nobody goes to schools to be a better hood nigga. Nobody go to school to be that. Nobody goes to school for that. We don't go to school for that. We go to school to have a better life. And you cannot change the perspective of life. You can do whatever you want. You can go party. You can go play. You can do whatever you want. Guess what? Life gonna come knocking at the door, and life gonna be life gonna. When you say life chill, I'm partying everything. Life gonna say, okay, I'll be back. And then every time life comes back, guess what life is gonna do? I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna get back on topic. Guess what life gonna do? First, life is gonna come knocking at the door. Life is gonna be normally life comes knocking at your door around 20. You get finished high school. Life gives you 2 years to BS and be a nigga or be a bad bit, be a hoe, do whatever. You're young. You want your coochie may itch for multiple dicks. You may want to, you guys out there, you may want to just be busting nuts. You want to be a nut buster. You want to be a nut, but I wasn't a nut buster, but you may want to be a nut buster. It happens. It happens. But unfortunately, a lot of us do things in that little pocket of thing before to transition into the life comes knocking at the door that ultimately puts a burden on you when life does come, and then you running up, you trying to go uphill with skates on a slippery slope. But and then life comes knocking at the door. But when life comes knocking at the door in 20s, life comes knocking at your door in your 20s with nobody. Life just be like, hey, I'm just this life. What's up? What are we gonna do? You be like, I'm partying. I'm dap. I'm chilling. See you when I see you. Bounce, nigga. I'm closing the door. Goodbye. And life stands there like, oh, this mug must think I'm playing. Then what happens is you just travel down life's road. You're just doing what you're doing because you're ignorant. You want to be that way, because it's not natural to do the things you do. When you do wrong, it's a forced effort to do it. So you're not like. And then what happens is life comes knocking back at 30, maybe at 30. But when life comes knocking at 30, he got some friends with him. He got friends with him now. He ain't just knocking at the door by himself. He got pain. He may have debt with him. He may have stupidity with him. He got some things with him. And then you be like, I ain't trying to heal this life. I got my own problems. And then life be like, you got more problems than me? And then you're like, life, I got my own problem. You slam the door on life again. Then life goes, okay. All right, I get it. Then life comes knocking back at a later time. and you do the same thing. Now, normally when life comes around a fourth time, there's no knocking on the door because you so up in the game, your mental space, there is no door. You like a raw nerve. Yeah, you exposed. Every little thing gets on your nerve. You know why? Because you stockpile so much negativity. Everything throws you into a frenzy. Yeah, you all up in the game. Your mentals is all tilted. You all off axis because life was a joke. But life was trying to tell you, bruh, I ain't no joke. Damn. Life gonna come tapping you on the shoulder at 50 and be like, dag, you never had blue balls, did you? And you're gonna be like, no, life, because I just shot and skeeted. And life gonna say, I can tell by all the goddamn restraining orders. I mean, child support orders. I mean, god dag, did you ever think about a napkin and some Vaseline? And you're gonna be like, nah, I'm that nigga, cause I'm about it. Or the classic one, I just love this one. All the bitches love me. You want women to love you, but I mean, that's what you say. And then what happens is life be like, okay, well, what are we going to do about the fact that you live in a studio apartment and you just had 2 more kids, and where they going to sleep at when they come see you? Or let's go to Chiquita. I ain't gonna say too much about Chiquita because I just said the dude is a raw nerve. Well, testosterone is like a raw nerve, and the unfortunate that when Wendy Williams said is women we can't do what men do because we collect emotions. And so, like I said, I already talked about that. I met a lot of women at 50s and they just burnt out. They don't know. They talk to me like they talking to some jerk. You know, all the things that I do just mean something different to them. This is what happens. So how about you be friends to life? Educate yourself. And you can do that by just coming back, listening to me, sharing my videos, because that's just what I do. I'm an educator, not a hater. You know, I am. I'm an educator, not a hater. And this is why in the community you guys call black, this is why so much stuff is right there in front of you and you don't see it. Nah, you don't see it. Everything with you is black and white. I mean, everything with you has the gray area, and you use that gray area to invoke stupidity. Yeah, you do. Everything is in black and white. There's no gray area. But in the gray area, people are the ones that be like, well, you know, you got to understand. No, I don't. Me and life are real good friends. I got a good life. Life comes and I give life a high five and be like, my man, next week, yeah, you gonna come and watch the game? Life, man, your life. You done stood me up about 1,000 times, bro. And then you know what life said? Life said, and I'm gonna keep standing your ass up because people keep fucking up, and I gotta go. That's what he said. That's what he said. I swear to you, that's what he said. That's what life said. Like every time. So why don't y'all start acting right so me and life can hang out? Hey, these are some good things, man. You get these from 7-Eleven. Here, 2 for $5. These things are good. Going in, I get like 6 at a time. These things are good. They're really good. They're great to have in the morning. It's real juice. It's good for you. So let us recap. What did we learn from today's lesson? We learned that going and filing fake complaints, not cool. We learned that watching Miss Williams get bashed over the head with a can of dog food, not cool. We learned that what we should do as a people is we should learn how to govern ourselves. That's what Chinese people do. That's what white people do. They govern themselves. And they govern themselves because they have a tight-knit group. You know, when I was a little cheering, check this out. You're going to love this. This is some true stuff, by the way. Because we got to govern ourselves. Let me tell you something about when I was a little cheering. When I was a little cheering, you used to could tell Mrs. Jones that her child was acting up in the street. You can't do that no more. Mrs. Jones got swapped out with Chiquita, and Chiquita got good kids. Chiquita allows her kids to smoke weed in the house. Chiquita's kids come home with new clothes. They don't have a verifiable income, but Chiquita don't care. And we very seldom told the father because the father was always out working. Mom manned the house. Told Mrs. Jones, so that's why. And then, like my mom did, I remember. I mean, just tell y'all something right quick. I remember one time we lived in a white neighborhood, right? When mom and dad was together, we lived in a white neighborhood, right? So, and it was this family. They had like 8 kids, and and one of them took my brother's bike. Think Dennis. It was a guy named Dennis. Dennis had a crooked eye, so he used to walk around like this. He used to walk around because this eye was dead, and this eye was bent that way. So he used to walk around like this. He'd walk when he'd be walking straight, but he'd be walking, and it was everybody with the black kids. And uh, I remember we got in the car, and my dad. This is what people that deal with me got to understand. I'm like my father. My father did not like stupidity. I mean, stupidity irritates the fuck out of me like it did I used to watch my dad just get mad and like, whoa. All right. So my dad, I don't talk like my dad though. My dad would, my dad would talk like he'd be like, get in the car. That's what he would say. You would hear get high pitch, and when he said car, you hear. "Arr." He'd be like, get in the car. My dad. So we all gets in the car. My dad knew where they was. We had some dealing with them before. And my dad goes and just pounds on their door. Give my son his bike back. And the mother comes and the father comes. It was a funny sight. This was back in like 1972. I remember it like it was yesterday. And my dad had a caddy, Coupe de Ville, puts the bike in the trunk. And we never had problems with them people again. Where am I going with this? Let me tell you how that works today. Person steals somebody's bike. We don't have a balance of I'm handling the home, you handle problems. We normally have an individual. We was watching the first 48 yesterday, and everybody want to call niggas now. Got a problem. I'm gonna call my niggas. And everybody want to bring guns. Nobody wants to acknowledge wrong was doing. Your kid took my kid bike. No, my kid didn't. My kid Ray Ray Jr. ain't like that. His brother Ray Ray Jr. Jr. and his other brother Ray Ray Jr. 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 They don't do that type of stuff. My kids don't do that. Got the bike, ma'am. The bike is right. That's his bike right there. Look, my son ain't put that there. Give me a second. Yo, man. Yo, man, it's some crazy stuff. Yeah, my son don't do that type of stuff. He's just adamant about this thief, Oh, thief breeder. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I'm getting off topic. I'm getting off topic. I'm sorry. I tend to do that. Appreciate those thumbs up. Where was I? Oh yeah. So when things like this happen nowadays, people call people. And when you call somebody, here's what happens. What happens when our president activates our National Guard or the military? When you call somebody, it's an assumption of a code red, all out war. You don't call somebody and say, "Now, did you bring the tea bags? You brought the lemon? Okay, all right. We're gonna sit down and have some tea because we're gonna discuss this. We're gonna have some tea." Mm-mm. No, that's not how that works. That ain't how that works. When you call somebody, what you're saying is, it's all out war over this bitch. This gonna kick my door in. And that's what happens when you call somebody. We done downgraded to call somebody for even when we do wrong. We do wrong. You know your son took that boy's bike. You know your son is a thief. You know your son be popping up at home with stuff, and you don't ask where he got it from because you don't want no problem with your own kids or rat kids or rat ass kids. Goes down, you call somebody, and once you call somebody, you don't know who they gonna bring, but they're always gonna bring that person that feels there's no connection. They can shoot somebody, don't nobody know him or her, and now things gonna get ugly. You see it all the time. If you just watch the first 48. Yeah. Just watch it. Really, you want to educate on the community you guys call black, just watch the first 48. It's on a day. It's on A&E. You'll catch it. It comes on every day. One episode come on at least every day. It's like nigga college. That's what the first 48 is. They should call the first 48 nigga college. They should call it that. So let me recap because I got to get on out of here. Not 2 minutes. What did we learn today? We learned today that we got to do a better job at policing ourselves. We got to stop making a mockery of the legal system because you don't know the adverse effect that you don't really know what you're doing. Stop with this thing. Stop with the nonsense. We also learned that if somebody can go down to domestic relations and say, I'm in fear of my life, and you don't say nothing, then why are you saying something when the white cops do it? That's what white cops are doing. I'm in fear of my life. That's the only thing. They don't get off by saying, oh, well, he lunged towards me. That's what they make. See, in the press, in the conferences, they feed y'all what y'all need to hear. And they feed you, well, he did this and he did that and he got a long rap sheet. When they in there talking to IA, Internal Affairs, it's, why did you do that? I was in fear of my life. And he's with the union delegate and they say, that's it. And they write a little report, patch it up, send it up to the district attorney. District attorney, he probably in there banging his secretary. Oh shit. District attorney, sir? Yes, we got the Jacob Blake shooting. Okay, hold on. Same as the last one. That's how that's gonna go. I promise you that. I promise you. That's how that's gonna go. So we need to do a better job. How about we start referring to individuals that speak with intellect? That's one. How about we stop educating ourselves via social media? Because what I hear about things in social media in the news is different when I watch hearings. So how about we start educating ourselves from the source, instead of third-party people that want to sprinkle their interest in it, add a little bias, add a little personal interest, add a little whatever, and then feed it to you, and you like, oh, sweat, and you like running with the truth when actually you're running with the false. So I gotta go. Bye.